we are going to talk today about
all the resorts that we've stayed at so far.
Yep.
We have 8 trips under our belt, and that's not including our 2 Disneyland trips that we've stayed at.
Well, I have 7, right? Because
Oh yeah,
you
we did a
guys
girls trip
went without me.
with my mom. That was a lot of fun.
It looked like a lot of fun.
Thanks for letting us go.
Yep.
So our first trip was in 2009. I believe we went in September.
I don't remember.
Yeah, we
Was
went
it
in September. We did. We enjoyed that time of year. I know I liked going.
Yeah.
The crowds weren't too bad there. The weather was hot, which is what we like. Josie was not in school, so we didn't have to worry about pulling her out of school to go. But that trip we stayed at Animal Kingdom Lodge in a 1-bedroom villa. We did it on cash instead of, we didn't rent DVC points from anyone, or we just paid Disney cash for that, and that was really nice. My parents were with us there, so the extra space was nice. We didn't really use the kitchen much. I refused to cook in the kitchen.
But it
Cook
was
on
nice.
vacation.
Oh yeah, she hates cooking on vacation. She will avoid that at all costs. The thing that was really convenient about that was having your own washer and dryer in the
Yes.
room. That was much more convenient than I anticipated. So
Yeah,
I
that was
highly
nice.
recommend it if you can do it.
But that's the only time that we've done that since then. But we did enjoy that resort a lot. When you walk into that lobby, it's amazing. It just is. It takes your breath away. Seeing the animals out. We just had a pool view, so we didn't have a safari view room. But still, there's so many places you can walk around the resort and go see the animals. So it wasn't hard to see them. The pool was great, especially for a younger child. It was the 0 depth entry, which I really like. I know we enjoyed that pool a lot. That pool, when we went, they weren't really closing the pools per se. You could go swim at any time. I guess it was at your own risk. There's no lifeguards. But I remember one night we got back. It was probably after midnight, and Josie was never up that late. I mean, she's to bed early, even now when she's older. But she made it, and we went on a night swim, and I remember that with my mom, and that was a lot of fun.
Well, going back to the lobby, and everything, like the zoo in the back and everything, like we said in our first video, if you haven't seen it, we thought this was our first and only trip to Disney World. We didn't know what to expect. We didn't expect that we were going to fall in love with it the way we did. Now, when we took Josie, we call it was the magic years, So from the very start, walking into the lobby, just looking at her face, I mean, that started, that we started falling in love with Disney World, because from that moment on, from the resorts to the little things like the transportation, talking to the guest, and the parks itself, they made it a completely magical experience, especially for a little girl. And it was great for us too, and it made it's very family friendly, easy for families.
Yeah.
That was the start of when I was wow, this is really nice, and they got animals in the back.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
The only downside is that there's only one mode of transportation from there, and that is a bus. It's very close to Animal Kingdom, the theme park, and it's not really that far from the other parks. It does seem farther than some of the other deluxe resorts. That is another thing. This is considered a deluxe resort, but we stayed in the villa, which is like another category. But that's the only, I think, downside was there's only one mode of transportation, and with the stroller, it was cumbersome for him to fold it up and carry it on the bus and hold on the bus, and he was very excited when we got rid of that.
We are
stroller.
done with strollers.
I mean, I would still take a stroller just to store all our stuff
Yeah,
in
that
the
was
park,
nice.
because I tend to pack a lot
Yeah,
of
we
things.
gotta tell them about the Christmas lights and everything for that trip.
Yeah, but yeah, I am an overpacker, and the stroller was nice to not have to carry that stuff around on our back. But that is actually going to be another Subject that we hit on in another video is what we take into the parks with us. But our next trip, which happened a lot sooner than we anticipated, was in December of 2010. We stayed at the Wilderness Lodge.
Yeah.
Which is, again, you walk into that lobby and it just takes your breath away. Especially at Christmas time, and that Christmas tree there and all the Christmas decorations, it was beautiful.
And all of Disney World is
oh yeah, for sure.
crazy with the lights, and it's really nice.
Yeah, and that was the year he made fun of me because I was packing our winter coats, I packed hats, I packed gloves, all these layers, and he said, "What do you need all that for? We're going to Florida." I said, "It's going to be cold." He's like, "It's Florida, it can't be that cold." Sure enough. I don't know if it's still to this day. When we went, it was like record lows for Florida.
It was like 29 degrees.
It was freezing at night, and thank goodness I packed all that stuff so we didn't have to buy anything. And
well, there were people unprepared that had to spend big bucks on sweatshirts and coats and everything,
yeah.
and I told her I will never make fun of her planning anymore.
Yeah. So yeah, and that was the year he also laughed at me because I bought battery-operated Christmas lights, and I wrapped them around the handle of the stroller. Because when you park your stroller, there's stroller section parking, and I mean, you can't find your stroller. There are tons of them there, and so I had the lights, and he was laughing at me. Well, then we got separated in the crowd. It was in Epcot, I remember, and I had Josie with the stroller, and he was looking, and he spotted the lights, and there we were. And then he's like, "Okay, I'll never make fun
That's
of you
something
again."
to touch on. At nighttime, if it's a busy season, Christmas or summer is too, but nighttime, every time I focus on anything else besides where my family is for seconds, I lose them. And there's like a sea of strollers and people with black coats on, and
he also walks really slow.
I don't walk slow. I walk like a normal person.
You don't.
Yes.
You are the slowest walker in the world, and I'm a very fast walker.
We'll continue this conversation when Josie's here because they both have, they both make fun of me because I walk.
Because he's slow.
I'm at Disney World. I want to see the sights. I'm not in a rush just to,
I'm not in a rush. I just am a fast walker. I get that from my dad.
Exactly.
Trying to keep up with him when I was younger.
When the whole family goes, she gets it from her dad. They're up front with Josie. And me and my mother-in-law in the way back there enjoying the sights. But they don't want to. They just want to...
We're enjoying the sights.
Anyway, we're getting off topic.
So then our next trip wasn't until 2012. I have notes here because I couldn't remember all this. Our first night we stayed at Art of Animation. The resort had just opened up.
I was impressed with it.
Yeah, it was nice. We were stayed in the Little Mermaid rooms, so it was quite a walk back to your room from the main lobby where the food court is and the buses and all that. But it wasn't horrible. There was lots of stuff to look at as you were walking back there. We didn't really go to the pool, I don't think, and I know
we were only there for
a night, yeah. And I know the main pool there is really cool, and a lot of kids love it. It's like a Nemo pool, I think, and you go underwater and you can hear music playing, and but the rooms that's a lot of theming. This is a value resort again, and there's a lot of Disney theming at most of the value resorts.
And you'll notice that value resorts have really loud Disney theming. The moderate resorts a little less, and in the deluxe resorts it's very subtle. Very subtle.
So it was. We'd stay there again. I think. I don't.
Yeah, I would have no problems with it. I really enjoyed it.
So, and then we went over to the beach club,
which is our favorite.
And that was our first day there, and we just fell in love with the beach club. There's just so much that we love.
Have we talked about the pool?
Yeah, I mean, we love. How about how we just love the pool? The pool is big, and I know a lot of families with multiple children that are younger. It's kind of a hard pool for them just because it is so big and there's so many different areas. It's kind of like 3 pools. They don't really all connect. You can just like hop out and walk across a bridge or walk across the pavement and get in the next one. But like there's a slide on the one side, and then you have just kind of a bigger just a pool with some
And
waterfalls,
there's the sand.
the sand, and then there's a lazy river, and then there's like the sand bottom play area, which a lot of little kids love. Josie still goes over there, and we'll go over there with her and build sand castles. And one of the cool things that they do is Hurricane Hannah's is the quick service restaurant right there for the pool. They serve the kids meals in little lunch pails with shovels. So, and you'll find them just laying around. People will leave them there and everything. So we love the pool there. The slide's fun. You do have to cross the sidewalk to get to the entrance of the slide to go up the stairs, and I know a lot of people worry their kids are crossing, and it's like the part of the boardwalk there, like that you walk around. And then we got an extra night because we found like really cheap flights, and it actually saved us money to stay one night, and we moved over to All Star Movies. It was fine for the night.
And then we'll show a lot of video footage when we stay there this summer, but
Yeah.
there is a possibility that we'll be staying at Yacht Club, or is that...
I don't know. We're waiting to see.
Okay.
Right now we're booked at Beach Club, but
Okay.
we'll see. And then our next trip, we stayed for a night at Port Orleans French Quarters, which we really liked.
I was
that.
surprised that...
That's a moderate. It's very small. There's only like one bus stop. There's not a lot of internal bus stops that pick up to go to the park. There's only one. The pool was fun. Josie, the slide's kind of like a serpent type slide, so I know some kids are scared, but she didn't have an issue with that.
Is it like a sea monster?
Sea
or
serpent or
yeah.
something. There's like King Triton's there. I don't know who he is.
King Triton.
I don't know who he is.
I think it was... I don't know.
Anyway, and then we moved over to the beach club. I think you'll see a theme here. But I really enjoyed Port Orleans French Quarters. It's just like I said, it's small, and you can take a bus to the parks, yes, and then you can take a boat down over to Disney Springs, which was really nice. And then our next trip was in 2015, and we stayed at Port Orleans Riverside for a night.
That was nice too.
It was. And we stayed there because we had 5 people because my parents came with us again on that trip.
Very fun trip.
And they sleep 5 because they have like a pull down wall bed, Murphy bed. Is that what those are called? That come out of the wall. Murphy bed.
I
Josie
think so.
slept there. It was nice. It's a little bit bigger of a resort. The pool was good. We like pools, so we pick our resorts based on the pools a lot. And then we moved over to the beach club. So yeah.
Which again is our favorite.
And then in 2000.
Oh well, actually, and that was the trip that when we moved over there, your parents were in, and your brother.
Oh yeah, my brother
were
came.
in the room next to us, and we had the door that was called
The connecting door.
the connector doors of the
Yeah.
room, which was really fun. And Josie loved it. She just go to their room and our room, and we also found out that we loved having the ground floor.
Yeah.
On the which side is that?
It was facing Epcot.
Facing Epcot, because
Well, yeah, we could like hear the music from.
yeah, that was really nice. Could hear the music. It made things a lot easier.
I was always kind of afraid to have a ground floor room just because you hear like horror stories of like snakes getting in the room, and I used to love snakes growing up and play wear them around my neck as a necklace, and now they kind of freak me out.
I was never a snake person.
So I was really nervous about that, but we just made sure we kept the door closed and.
Can I make an observation?
Sure.
It looks like that we're getting a little more comfortable with the camera. If you go back to our first video, you laughed. We were just kind of like, we're doing a YouTube video, and then we're kind of uncomfortable. So we're a little better at it. If you think we're getting better at it, watch first one, second one. I think we're getting a little more comfortable.
I took a shot of bourbon before we started, so maybe that's why. I'm just kidding.
Oh,
I didn't. I didn't.
So anyway.
So yeah, we requested connecting rooms with my parents, and they granted our request. And we do realize that's a request only; that's not always guaranteed. But we did enjoy that ground floor room. There was some foot traffic from people going to Epcot. There's a little gate. There's a sidewalk, and it opens up, and International Gateway is like right there. You just have to go down the little hill there 2017 was a big year for Disney trips for us. We had annual passes, and we started out. We went in March. It was the girls' trip. It was my mom and Josie and I.
I was not there.
No boys allowed.
Was it 6 days? She went?
I think so. It was supposed to be like 4, and it turned into 6. That's another pattern you'll see is start out this amount, and then gets the whole.
Oh no, that's been since I think our second trip.
Our second trip. Mm-hmm.
We would start out with a plan of this many days and plan it. The calendar, days off of work, finances, and then come close to the trip. She wants to add more days, and I have no say in this because this is a true story. She said, "Hey, what do you think about adding? Was it 2 more days?" She wanted to add days, and she's like, "What do you think about it?" My answer was, "Well, we've kind of planned it already for the amount of days we have, so let's keep that." Her answer, "No, we're gonna add the days." So I don't even know why she asked me.
Kind of like when I asked you what you wanted to eat at our wedding.
Yes, that's another story. Maybe we'll have your mom tell that story while
But anyways, we stayed at the beach club again.
Happy wife, happy life.
With my mom. That's her favorite too. But we did. It's kind of a flower and garden festival that was going on, the flower and garden festival, and my mom's really into gardening, so we kind of focused on that a lot. We had booked a tour for her birthday about the flower and garden festival, and I know she did enjoy that tour, and so we stayed there. And then summer 2017 we stayed at 3 resorts. First night was All Star Music.
Yep.
Again, we got a great deal on flights, so we went out the night before. We drove to Indianapolis though to fly out, which is a 2-hour-ish drive for us, so it's not like super close.
This was a big trip because we just so happened to be there with friends.
Yeah, we planned a trip with friends from here, and then their family from another state was meeting them.
From another state were there, and then who else was there? Was that it?
I think so. Yeah.
Your folks didn't go that way?
No.
Okay.
No. So that was a fun trip. So we all stayed, us and then the other family here from Louisville stayed for the first night All Star Music, and then we moved over to the Polynesian, which was a first for us. And they went to, and their family from the other state. We did enjoy the resort. The rooms were huge there. Huge.
I actually, you know what, I'll put in a picture. Remember when we first got in the room and Josie was so excited about the inside of the room, she's like dancing. I have pictures of that. I'll add that in here right now. And then you guys can enjoy it.
So we enjoyed, the pool is nice, but like we said, that trip, it rained a lot, so we didn't really get to enjoy the pool as much as we had hoped. Yeah. And then we moved over to the beach club.
Went to the beach club.
So, yeah, we ended our trip there. And I was going to say something about the beach club that I love. I mean, they have the marketplace there. They do have like flatbread pizzas and some salad and stuff that you can get. Most of the, I guess pretty much all the deluxe resorts don't have like the, what am I trying to think of, like the big cafeteria
Marketplace.
type quick service.
Quick service.
Yeah, the Valley resorts have. So they don't have that. They have something, but it's not nearly as much as like the Valley resorts have. And then it was a surprise trip. We decided to get one more trip in with our annual passes.
December.
It was December. It was Josie's Christmas present, our Christmas present. We went to Coronado Springs, which was
we did not stay at Beach Club this time. Surprise. But, you know, we had the annual passes, and one of us came up with the idea. I think it was me. And I asked Megan, you know, why don't you just look in to see how much it would cost to get there, to fly there, because we cannot stand driving long distances. She calls me back and says flights would be a couple $100 because we had what, credits?
We had some credits.
We had some credits with Southwest. She said it'd be a couple $100, and I wanted to clarify: was that $200 each? And she said no, that would be the total amount that we pay. So I said buy them, and buy them now, because I learned a long time ago when the prices are down, do not wait, because they will skyrocket. So was that? Was it
It was-
November?
It was October because I remember
October.
we were at Great Oak Lodge and I was booking the hotel.
Okay, and then off we went, December.
So
That
and
was a
we
great
enjoyed
trip.
Coronado Springs. We requested one of the refurbished rooms there, and we really like the refurbished rooms. I know a lot of people aren't a fan of the hardwood flooring. It's dirty and it's not being mopped and swept
I
and
liked it.
stuff. But we love it. We like majority of our house is hardwood or tile, so we like that type of flooring. The space underneath the beds is awesome to store your suitcases, so you don't have, especially in the moderate resort, which is a little bit smaller than the deluxe. You have places to put your suitcase. They're not out, and I don't like clutter at all. So it's nice to just shove them underneath the bed.
Also, if you're like us, we have to have a fan on to sleep. The sound of a fan, the feel of a fan, a completely silent room, we can't sleep in. So if you do ask guest services for, if they had a big box fan, they will bring one up to you, and it was a great night's sleep.
Food court. That was the word I was
Food
looking
court,
for.
okay.
The values have food courts. I'm sorry. I
Yeah,
do that
food
a lot.
courts and fans. So, but yeah, they'll ask for it. I don't know.
Are
Are we the only crazy ones that can only sleep with a fan
No.
on?
But
Is
they
that
may
a big
not
thing?
have
Do
one.
a lot of people have that?
Yeah.
Okay.
They may not have one. Again, it's a request.
A
But
fan?
every time, yeah, they may, maybe other people have asked for them and they only have so many. But we've gotten one every time. We've received it every time we've asked for it. So yeah. But Coronado, the pool, the very last day we were there again, it was cold while we were there. We had our coats on and hats and gloves, but the very last day that we were there, I think it was in the 80s. It wasn't a full day for us, but our flight didn't leave till later. So Josie and I went and got in the pool for a little bit, but this was probably, Josie was older and, able to go without having to take a rest. So this was probably the trip that we did just a lot of parks and not a lot of downtime. So it was nice. I'd stay there again. I know there's construction going on there right now, and we
They
got
Galaxy's Edge. They got that opening in August.
August. But the towers are open, I believe, at Coronado Springs now. I haven't read any reviews on it or anything
Oh,
yet.
what's it called? Destino?
I can't remember.
Grand
the
Destino,
name. I don't remember.
I think. Is it open?
Mm-hmm. Well, I know people can book. I don't know if anyone stayed there. We haven't planned to stay there, so I haven't really looked into it too much. Maybe that's something I should have looked into.
So this summer is, like you said, either Beach Club
Or Yacht Club, depending if there's any annual pass discounts. The annual pass discounts have only come out until June 30th, and we're traveling in July, so we just have to wait to see if and they're really good annual pass discounts that they've offered so far for the summer. So to see if they have any for July, hopefully, because we would like to try the Yacht Club. They just redid the rooms there, and they have the hardwood floors, storage underneath the beds.
And we'll do more.
One more thing. The smell of the Beach Club lobby is amazing.
There are candles made of it, so.
Yeah. We bought some candles and they just didn't burn. They didn't burn very well and they were kind of expensive, so. But the smell is,
I think
love
each
the
lobby
smell.
has their own.
They do. Some of the other resorts.
Disney does it on purpose, don't they?
Yeah, they have machines that they put in there.
I forgot what I was about to say. Thanks a lot.
I'm sorry.
So there'll be more videos too, and we end up moving down there. And if you haven't seen our other videos, the reason why the title of our YouTube channel is Retired Years, with years capitalized, is because we are planning on moving down there when we retire, which is in 6 years. We just want to start now, get a feel for it, and then maybe get some people watching if people like it, and maybe it'll be a thing. Now, in the last few videos, 2 videos actually, because we just got started, every time at the end I keep saying that we don't have a way to say goodbye, sign off, or an outro or anything like that. But we thought of something, and it'd be best if she explained it because it has more to do with her.
Might cry.
She may cry. It has to do with her grandfather.
My
she
grandpa.
was really, really close with.
Growing up, we used to say, love you the mostest, love you the bestest, love you the lastest. Just as we were saying goodbye and stuff, and you know, we'd be yelling out the window, which everyone was driving away, saying that. And I remember, like, I had to write a letter to a grandparent or something for school, and I said, love you the mostest, and the teacher got mad and said, that's not proper grammar. And I'm like, well, that's what we say, my grandparents and I. And they looked at me funny, like we realize it's not proper grammar. But we always would say mostest, bestest, truest, longest, lastest. So that's just a little something that we did.
And we know we're gonna change it up a little bit because, you know, we like you guys. But we're gonna change it up, and so the outro is
until next time,
live the mostest.